है ना, वो अवेयरनेस है, वो पब्लिक कैची माइंड इंसान को कैच कर रहा है, कैची मैसेज देके, और कंसिडरेशन में फिर जिम श्राफ को बिठाता है और वहां पे फीचर्स दिखाता है एक के बाद एक। या चाचा चौधरी वाला वो वीडियो, चाचा चौधरी वाला ऐड देखा किसी ने? देखा मस्ट वॉच, अमेजिंग अमेजिंग क्रिएटिव ऐड दे हैव क्रिएटेड। चाचा चौधरी भाई, चाचा चौधरी जो कार्टून कैरेक्टर सबको पता है ना, बट द वे एक्टर का वॉइस किसका यूज किया जो उस टाइम पे इसके लिए फेमस हो रहे थे, पंचायत के लिए?
अरे अश्विनी,
सरपंच जी,
अश्विनी
प्रधान जी। तो वो चाचा चौधरी क्रेड ऐड सर्च करके देखिए, इट्स अ क्यूट। लॉन्च करो, 15 हेडलाइंस लिखो।
Hello, Karan. Hello.
अरे सौरभ है क्या इधर?
ਕਰਨ ਵੀਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਆਵਾਜ਼ਾਂ ਮਾਰਨ ਦਿਆ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ
Hey guys, good morning everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, sir.
Prakash.
Hey guys, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
So in this session we'll be covering a very new topic that is Google Analytics, right? Now let me first explain you why Google Analytics is a important topic and why, we should be learning Google Analytics at all. So what happens is that in our Facebook ads and Google ads platform, we get various sources of data, right? Now, those data sources are limited to the platforms that we are working on, right? And till the person sees the ad, right? So what all data do you get? You get the data of if they have seen the ad, if they've clicked the ad, and if they've converted from the app, right? Or converted from the ad. The data that we don't get is what happens after the user has come on the website. That, for example, the user lands on the website. What does he do after he comes on the website? How much time does he stay on the website? Where exactly is he coming on the website, right? And all the other details after the user has actually landed on the website. We don't get that data in our Facebook ads or our Google ads platform because all of that data is severely restricted to the ads that we are running. Okay, now Google Analytics is such a platform which gives you the data of all the users who are visiting your website, irregardless if they're coming from from any ad, if they're coming from YouTube, from organic sources, from referral traffic. It will give you all the data, right? It basically gives you all the data of the people that are coming from different sources to your website and all the things that they're doing on your website. Okay, now a lot of you will ask me, sir, that how can we get the access to Google Analytics, right? Now, the first thing to understand is that before you have access to Google Analytics, you need to have a website. Without having a website, you cannot have access to Google Analytics, right? Because the Google Analytics needs to draw the data from a website. So if you don't have a website, you cannot have access to Google Analytics. So for this reason, what Google has done is Google has basically given all its users a demo account. Right now, what is a Google Analytics demo account? In that account, what happens is that there is Google's own website, which is called Google Merchandise Store. It is like a dummy website out of which Google sells some of its popular merchandise, and data from that merchandise store is drawn and displayed in the Google Analytics platform that is given to everyone for free. Right. So this is where we'll particularly start with. We'll start with the access of the Google Analytics account. Right after all of you have access to the Google Analytics account, we'll specifically move from there and I'll teach you some of the basics of navigating the platform, that what are the options that are available, what are the different data points that we get, and basically we'll also talk about some of the popular use cases in paid ads, right? That why do we really use Google Analytics for in paid ad? What are the use cases? What are some of the cases in which we need to use it, or what are the different data points that we get? Okay, so the first thing about, as I said, that Google Analytics is overall about the data that we get after a user comes onto your website. It is like a CCTV camera which captures the activity of the users once they land onto our website. Now, why do we particularly need it? Because a lot of our time and our efforts are spent to optimize our ads. So till now in the Facebook ads and Google ads, you have learned a lot about optimization, that we particularly need to optimize our ad copies, we need to optimize our audience, we need to optimize, let's say, our targeting, bidding strategies, XYZ. But a lot of time should actually also be spent on optimizing our landing pages, right? Because in both Facebook and Google, you know that a large part of the performance is also dependent on the landing page experience. And that landing page experience can be measured through Google Analytics. That how well is your landing page actually doing? Google Analytics will give you that data in terms of different metrics. For example, time spent on page, how much people are coming, and specifically how many people are leaving from the page. So all of that data you will get in Google Analytics. Right now, one thing that you will encounter once you start navigating Google Analytics is there are different versions to Google Analytics, right? The two important versions that you should be knowing about is Google Analytics 3 and Google Analytics 4, right? GA3 or Google Analytics 3 is also called Universal Analytics. It was basically one of the major sources of data that was specifically been used till now, right? It was one of the older methods, and GA4 is basically the new method. Now GA3 will become obsolete, or Google will stop using GA3 from July 2023. It is still like 6-7 months down from now. So ideally we'll be teaching you GA4, but all of you, when you have access to the platforms, you should be also be exploring a little bit of GA3 as well, because from a future perspective, we are making you future proof in terms of whenever you get your job, you can start with GA4. But in some parts of GA3 is also necessary for you to particularly understand how both the platforms specifically work. Now, how to access Google Analytics? This is one of the important things that we will look. Right, so I'll share one specific link with all of you, and we'll go step by step in terms of accessing Google Analytics. Right, so quickly want all of you to click on this link and come to this particular page. Right, or if you're not able to click on the link, or if you don't remember the link next time, you can just search for Google Analytics demo account on Google, and the first link that you will come across will be of this page. Okay, so once all of you are on this particular page, there are three options here, right? Google Analytics 4 property, web data, Google Analytics 4 property, app and web data, and universal analytics, that is Google Analytics 3. So these three data for the Google merchandise store is available for use for everyone. All of us can create a free Google Analytics account, and all of us can get access to these three data. Now, these three data is dependent on what data do you have as well. So for example, if you have a website and you only have a website, then you will basically use the web data only. If you have website plus app, you will use both the app and web data. And obviously, if you want to use Google Analytics 3 in your own website, you'll be using the universal analytics property. So for now, what we'll do is we'll click on the second option, that is Google Analytics property, flooded app and web data. Right, you can just click on this particular link and you will be taken to the Google Analytics page. Give me a thumbs up if all of you have been able to follow till here. If you are able to see this Google Analytics screen. Okay, I can see a few people. Sahil, do you have anything to ask? I see you're raising your hand.
Yes, so I wanted to ask you regarding this GA3 and GA4.
Yes.
Is this the same thing that is happening, the change in with respect to the cookies and tracking systems?
Yes, there are some parts involved in it.
Okay, so GA3 is basically the one in which the cookies were involved, but now cookies are being removed and now understood.
Yes, so GA3 basically used to track based on cookies and events, but GA4 is a little bit more advanced than it. Like there are a lot of technicalities involved. I won't really get into it, but if you are interested into knowing about it, you can just search the differences between GA3 and GA4 and learn about it. Cool. Krishnaveni, you have something to ask?
Yes, Akash. So the third option is for what?
Third option is to access the Google Analytics 3 property of this data.
Okay,
It's the same data.
Yeah.
The first two are for Google Analytics 4 and the third one is for Google Analytics 3.
Okay.
Okay. If you're getting take a tour option, all of you can skip that for now and just focus on the things that we are going to learn here. Cool. Anyone here who has not been able to come to this screen yet?
Akash,
Yes, sir, I was.
Dialog box coming in, which is my email communications. We occasionally send emails to update you with what we do about it.
You select yes, no. It's up to you if you want to receive emails or not. That's fine.
Got it.
Anyone else? Any issues? No? Cool. Cool. So now that we see the Google Analytics.
Akash is asking for some of the checklists. My email communications, like 4 checklists are coming. Should I?
Just check everything and do continue.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Cool. Now, once you have access to the Google's Google Analytics web data or web plus app data that we are looking into here, there are 3 basic functions that you need to learn. And I want all of you to pay very close attention to these 3 basic functions, because this is how exactly you will be navigating the platform, right? Google Analytics platform is a lot like Excel, right? In Excel, you have different pivots, you have different filters, you have different ways of visualizing the data. For that, you need to know filters, you need to know pivots. Similarly, in Google Analytics also, there are these 3 basic functions that we need to know, right? What are these functions? The first function is comparison, the second is filter, and the third is secondary dimension. So let's start with comparison. So what is comparison? The comparison filter or the comparison data that we get is a particular feature which helps us compare various levels of data, right? So for example, if you want to compare how many organic users are we getting versus how many paid users are we getting, it will help you compare that. Similarly, it will also help you compare, let's say, male versus female users. It will help you compare users in different age groups. So if you want to compare any two specific points of data in your overall platform data that you have, you can use the compare to, right? There can be more cases based on what our usage is, right? How do we set up a comparison tool here? What you do is you go to the screen that you went, right? And then you go into reports, right? So reports is basically the section where you'll be playing around with to get all the reports. Here you see the option of date range on the top right. Here you can select any date range that you want. So currently it is showing for last 28 days, that is fine. Right now, after you come here in the report snapshot, right? Or in the real-time data as well, you see this button, add comparison. All of you can see this, add comparison, right? So you click on this particular button and it opens up a menu on the right hand side. Now here you have to choose what do you want to compare with, right? You see one segment here that is all users. Now let's say I want to compare all users. There are a lot of different options available here, right? There's age, there's gender, there's city, country, region, then there's pages, right? There are different platforms you can, platforms or devices you can choose. For example, you can choose iOS people versus Android users, or you can specifically choose a phone model also, right? Like a device brand or exact device model. You can choose operating system, you can choose various stream name, language code. You can particularly filter out using various day or date as well, right? So there are a lot of different options that are available. For now, let's do a very quick test that we want to see that from this data that we get, how many people are coming from this particular region of, let's say, New York, right? We wanna compare this with all users versus people who are coming from New York, right? So here you specifically see that these are the two segments. One segment is all users and one segment is region includes New York. So what is the difference here? It shows that there are currently 79 users who are from all users. They're from different parts of India. And there are 2 users who are coming from this New York section, right? So this is how you're seeing the data. Similarly, if you want to change this to something else, right? Let's add a comparison of age group. So let's add a comparison of age and you select a specific age range. Let's say I want to see how many people are between the age of 18 to 24 currently. So here it shows that currently no user are between the age of 18 to 24 and there are 75 users whose overall age is either unknown or the like different age groups between 18 to, like apart from 18 to 24, they are in the different age groups. So you can put filters like this. For example, I want to see 18 to 24 and another age group. Let's say you select age and then you select, let's say, 35 to 44. You want to see the comparison between these two segments. So you create 2 segments like this, that people between 18 to 24 and people between 35 to 44. So currently it shows that not a lot of users between these 2 age groups actually exist. But if you look into other data sources, it might actually be there. The overall idea is that comparison feature is used to compare any 2 segments that we want to compare with each other. Okay. Is this clear to everyone? Any questions in comparison?
No.
No? Cool. So here we can see, for example, a comparison between male and female users, right? What is the overall difference between the male and female users, right? So this is a question for you, right? So you use the Google Analytics demo account and create a comparison between age group of 18 to 24 and 35 to 44, right? I want all of you to quickly go into this section. I'll tell you which section you need to go into reports, right? And then click on this life cycle. Inside life cycle, click on user acquisition. I'm repeating again, reports. You see this option of life cycle. Under life cycle, go into user acquisition. Now, once your user acquisition, now put these 2 filters. That is a comparison between age group 18 to 24 and 35 to 44. And tell me the respective numbers in the chat. Okay, I want all of you to quickly perform this. And guys, this is very important to work on it because this can get difficult if you exactly don't know how to navigate the platform. This is very basic. These are just basic filters that you're using to navigate the platform.
Akash, actually, I'm not able to like get the access of to the demo account of Google Ads, Google
Why
Analytics.
are you
I'm
not able to access it?
I don't know, like it's not like I'm going through step by step, but it's not getting
After you
done.
click on the link, what's happening?
Kash, can you repeat the question again?
The question is on the screen that using the Google Analytics demo account, create a comparison of age group 18 to 24 and 35 to 44. Create a comparison between these two age groups. And once you have created the comparison, tell me the numbers for these two age groups in the chat. Quickly, guys, quickly. This is a very simple task. I think all of you can do this very easily. Okay, Akshat is saying 0 users in both age groups. What about others? 0 users right now. Okay, I didn't ask for 0 users. I asked for, so I told you that you have to go into life cycle reports, life cycle user acquisition. Here, if you see, I already have the filters, right? It's not 0. The answer is not 0. You can see this is the specific answer, not in the real-time section. You need to do this in the user acquisition. Please, guys, pay attention, everyone, in terms of what instructions I'm giving. Very good. You needed to put it in the chat. Okay, so Tanya is saying 414. I don't think that's correct again. 60833049. Yes, this is the correct answer. Cool. So all of you need to take care of two things, right? The first is that your date ranges is exactly correct, right? So currently we are using the last 28 days date range. You can select it from here, last 28 days. And then you have to create these two segments. One segment is age group includes 18 to 24. Another segment is age group includes 35 to 44. I'll quickly show all of you who have not been able to do this how to do it, right? So click on add comparison. In the select dimension, you just type out age. You select age. Then you select 18 to 24. There's one segment. There's one segment that you want to compare. Then you click on apply. Once you click on apply, you will see a segment here appears. Age includes 18 to 24. Then you again click on comparison. Then you again go and click on age. You select the next segment, that is 35 to 44. You click on OK and you apply it. So these are two segments that you see. One segment is 18 to 24, another is 35 to 44, and another segment of all users. Currently, if you don't need it, you can delete the all users segment. And then you will get this answer here. That 18 to 24, new users are 6083. 18 to 35 to 44, new users are 3409. This is your correct
Can you
answer.
perform it again once?
Okay, can you tell me what you need to do here? What you have understood?
From where we have to select that age criteria.
You click on add comparison. On the right hand side, you will see a option here, a column coming up. From that column, you have to just type age, or you just scroll down and search age. You'll be able to find it. Okay, and then you select the specific age section. Make sense? Everyone follows till here? Any questions? Okay, cool. Now
Akash,
let's learn the, yeah.
all users are users from all over India or all over the world?
You tell me, what will all users be?
If we select our location as India, it should be.
But are we selecting
India.
any location here?
No.
No, right? So this is all over the world. Then. This is all users of Google's merchandise store.
Okay.
Which is all over the world. Okay, cool. Now let's, anyone else, any questions before I move on to the next segment? Any questions about the comparison tool? People with their cameras off, guys, any questions? I see a lot of people with their cameras off. See, if it's okay if you're not paying attention, it's no worries for me, but in an interview when you will get asked these questions, it'll be difficult. So please, it's a request, please pay attention.
So
cool.
what do you mean by Google Merchandise Store? I didn't understand what you said there.
Google Merchandise Store is a website which specifically sells Google merchandise, and Google merchandise means they sell various clothing material, various pens and all, and data from that store is drawn and show here.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Rehan, anything specific that you have not understood?
No, sir, I got everything, but go a little bit slower.
Slower as in like pace of speaking.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Now let's move on to the next feature. The next feature is filter feature. Right now, what is filter feature? Just like the name suggests, it is a feature that lets you filter specific sources of data from different data sources. So just like an Excel filter, you can filter out different numbers, you can filter out different by colors, you can filter out by different conditions. Similarly, here also you can use the filter function to filter out certain points of data, right? So what can you filter out? You can filter out data like age, gender, landing page, country, devices, etc. So you can use this filter functionality from all the data that you have. You can filter and only see a specific segment of data, right? So how can we do this? We can do this by this filter section. If you come on to Google Analytics again, you will see just below comparison, in some of the cases, and here again in user acquisition, you have this option of add filter. So you click on add filter, and then you particularly select anything that you want to put a filter on, right? Let's say you want to put a filter on gender, right? And we only want to see, let's say, female users. So you select the filter, you put gender, you select what value you want to select, either male or female, and then you apply this specific filter. Now what will happen? From all users, your data will get filtered and only female users will be shown to you. Right here you see only 9197 female users, total female users are showing. Right? You can only put one filter at a time, right? And you can see multiple things. Right? For example, if you want to check gender, if you want to check age group, if you want to check location. So for example, another idea that one of our friend gave us was, let's say, location. So let us select country. So we select country and we select India. We only want to see, or we only want to filter out from all the users, people that have only come from India. So what we'll do, we'll select country as our filter. We'll select the value as India and we'll apply this filter, right? And here you can see the data of all the people that have come from India, right? So this is how a basic filter function works. Now, what is the difference between a filter and a comparison? Right? The only difference between a filter and a comparison is that when you're filtering out the data, you can only put one filter at a time. But in comparison, you can put multiple filters. You can compare male, female together in the comparison. But in the filter, if you want only one segment of filtration to be done, then you can put that in the filter. Now, how you use it is totally up to you. You can use it in different use cases. Like, for example, if you only want to see the data of female users, you can put the same data in as a filter, or you can put the same thing as a comparison also. So it is totally up to you how you want to use it. These are two basic functionalities that you know. Now it is up to you how you want to use both of these functionalities to get the data that you want. Okay. So any questions on the filter bit? Anyone? This is very basic, just like Excel. You select filter, you put the specific filter that you want, you select how you want to filter it, and then you work on it. Okay. Cool. So for example, here we are seeing that data from mobile users using the filter function. So you can select that what mobile, like mobile, desktop, PC, what specific device are they using, and we can filter out accordingly, according to that as well. Okay. Now this is another quick question for you to solve. Create a filter of landing page of home page. Right. So using this same data, the current screen that we are on, create a filter and select the filter of landing page and select the value as home page. And tell me the total number of new users. You can put it down in the chat.
Here the landing page, I think landing page plus query strings something showing. That's the thing I think in the option.
There is a specific only landing pages also.
Only landing page. Okay.
You have to select that. So let me show you. So here instead of country, you select landing page. Okay, string landing page was query strings. Save a page. Okay, so landing page for query strings is the only one that's available. And then you have to select the home page. Now, can anyone tell me what page will be a home page? Like out of the two options, or how do we identify a home page? In any web for any
Only the
website.
Like
slash
only
one.
slash.
Only the forward slash will be present. If there's anything after the forward slash, it is another page of the website. Only forward slash will basically be categorized as the home page, right? So you select forward slash here, you click on OK, and you apply this filter, right? And once you apply the filter, the number that you will get is 1528. I hope all of you have got this specific number, 1528.
So
Cool.
there is one more
Yeah.
filter of page path and screen class. In that, there is a main menu. That is not your page.
No,
Landing
main menu
page?
won't be a home page.
Okay.
Home page is always classified by forward slash. Okay, cool. Now moving on, the third feature that we have to learn about is called secondary dimension. Now, what is secondary dimension?
Wait a sec. Akash, can you please go back and tell where is this number 1528 is written? I can't find that. I've applied the filter, but this number is not coming. Like
Here you see 1528
okay,
beside new
okay,
users.
okay.
Cool.
Akash, before applying the filter, we have to remove the comparisons.
Yes, definitely. If you don't remove the
Yeah.
comparison, then you have two sets of filters that are that are working together. So obviously you have to
Okay.
remove the comparison.
Akash, I inserted the filter twice, but the first time the data was wrong, and then I had to do it again. Is this something related to the demo website, or is it something that we have to make sure that is happening?
Not sure what you did, but once you apply the filter, like you can't apply the filter twice. Once you apply it and click on OK, you will see the numbers. It will take some time to load, but once it loads, you'll see like a loading button here. Because Google Analytics is a little bit slow. So after you apply a filter, the result will not be instantaneous, specifically for slower computers, or if your network is not very good, it will take some time to load. But after it loads, it will show you the correct data.
Akash, I'm seeing a complete different report here because in your panel left side user acquisition is given. For me, it's like user acquisition, first user default channel grouping, it's available. So I don't know how to look for it. I am getting complete different report, which is new user.
Because you are you have selected this web data, right?
Oh, okay.
I asked everyone to click on this app and web data. If you're not following instructions, you will see a different report.
Okay.
Right. Second option, click on app and web data, and you will see the same screen and the same data is new. Okay. Hey guys, again, what is happening in the chat? This is not expected of you. I'm not gonna entertain these things. This is something that I've repeated again and again. Please don't have unnecessary conversations that is not important to what we are discussing. Cool. Moving on. The second thing that we want to learn is the third thing, basically the third functionality that we should be focusing on is secondary dimension. Now, what is secondary dimension? Secondary dimension is specifically a particular segment of first. What is first dimension? So if there are three levels of data, right? For example, if here you are seeing a particular data of, I'll show you. So here you are seeing a particular data of direct, display, organic. So where your users have come from. So this is for primary dimension, that your data has been filtered by some specific segment, right? Here it's been filtered by where your users are coming from, or it can be filtered by the different products that you have. So the data that you see here, this is called the primary dimension. Now you can use or filter out this data with another level of data, which is called secondary dimension, right? So basically what you're doing inside the direct user, you're filtering out all the direct users into different segments of anything that you like. For example, if you want to see that out of these direct users, these 26,000 users, how many of them are male or female, and you want to filter out this 26,000 people into how many are male and how many are female. So what you're doing, you're dissecting the primary dimension into two different things or more than two different things. That is called the secondary dimension, right? Now, how do we see this? We see this by clicking on this plus sign, right? Like a lot of you will understand once you apply it. So let's say we apply the secondary dimension of gender, right? Now here what is happening is that this direct got dissected into 3 segments, that is male, unknown, and female. So basically this primary dimension is getting divided into the terms that you're selecting in the secondary dimension. Similarly, display got divided into female, let's say one is male, and here you'll have more, which is based on organic search or all the other things, right? So this is how you can divide your primary dimension into your secondary dimension, which will filter out all the data. So if, for example, if you try to understand it like this, let's say you have campaign 1. Inside campaign 1, you have ad set 1, ad set 2, ad set 3. So campaign is your primary dimension and ad sets are basically your secondary dimension. So this is how you can imagine the data, and division of data will specifically happen, right? So here you see direct being divided into these 3 genders, display again being divided into 3 genders, organic search being divided into these 3 genders. So you're dissecting your primary segment or your primary data that you have into secondary levels of data. This is called as secondary dimension. Shesh, you have something to ask here?
Yes, Akash. So before we applied this filter, right? So the total users were 26,000 change. Now it's increased to 34,000.
26,000 was for this direct. So if I just remove it, you will see it's still 34,190. 26,226 was for the direct one.
Just for the direct one. Okay.
Now, once we put the filter of gender, you will see that this 26,000 will basically get divided into these 3 segments of 12,000, 7,000, and 5,000.
Okay. Okay.
Right? This division basically happens. Your 26,000 got divided into these 3 segments.
So unknown means users who've not specified
not specified their genders on their profiles, or who are maybe using incognito, and Facebook is not, so Google is not able to understand what their current gender is. So those are classified as unknown. Okay, so this is how you're supposed to put a secondary dimension, and your primary level of data will get filtered into the secondary level of data. Jay, you have a question here?
Yes, so what's the difference between direct and organic?
Direct is basically people who go onto your website by directly searching or directly putting the link in the URL. So for example, if you directly put www.craftshala.com and you click on enter, that will be counted as a direct visit to your website. But what is organic? Organic will be after you search Craftshala and you see an organic listing and you click on it, that will be selected as an organic click or an organic visit for your website. Okay, anyone else? Any questions? Any confusions in secondary dimension? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a small question. Like here, the new users means the unique users, right?
No, new users is not unique users. New users is basically in this specific time, how many new users have specifically come onto the website.
Okay, where is the total users mentioned?
Total users you will get in this segment of traffic acquisition.
Okay, got that.
So if you click on traffic acquisition, you see it took some time to load, and this users, here it mentions users. Now this users is all the total users. Okay. You see that 52,000 are the total users, and out of those 52,000, around
34,000 are new
34,000 are the new users. Again, both are in this given time frame of last 28 days. Okay. Yeah, Krishna Veni?
Gosh, I'm not getting this data, like the direct display, organic, and all is there, no? So
Yes.
I'm not
So you
getting
click on the
this.
plus. So
Yeah.
you go into life cycle, user acquisition, reports, life cycle, user acquisition.
Yeah, I'm already there. So I get organic direct and organic social something. So that I'm not able to put that filter. The plus sign only we should click on, no? This
Yes,
blue
this
plus
plus
sign.
sign. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Can you show it
type
one more
gender.
time?
Remove
Yeah.
filter
Type
actually.
gender.
Mhm.
Krishnavani, I think have you removed all the filters on the top?
Yeah, I did.
Everything like is blank here. Comparisons on the filters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you select gender, you'll be able to see the
Okay,
direct
let me
is
try
male,
one more
unknown,
time.
female.
Yeah.
Cool. Ananya, you have a question?
Yeah, Akash, I'm asking like before we could see in Google Analytics like the unique users number also, right? But I'm not finding it here in this user UI actually.
What do you mean by
There were
before?
before meaning I had tried this Google Analytics 6 months ago also. So there I
Which
got
version had
this
you tried? 3 or 4? In 3 you can get it.
probably 3. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
in
3.
3 you can get it. In 4 it is not available. Unique numbers.
Okay, got it.
Ojas?
So just one like basic question was like the 12,347 are direct mail users, means they type the link directly onto the
Yes,
the link section like craftshala.com directly.
Yeah.
Okay, direct. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Sonu?
Yes, Akash, as we can see that this data, all this data that we are seeing here is like for very less amount of people. Like, so how can we consider it very accurate for, as because in Google about 2.5 million searches happens every second. Compared to that, this data is very, very minuscule. So can we go for it like very accurate
But
one?
you have to understand that this data is for a specific website. It's for the
Benefit them.
Google. It's not for all Google. It's for the Google's merchandise store. And when you will get this data, it will be for your own website. Even if there are 2.5 million searches happening, it doesn't mean that all the searches are happening for your website. It's
Okay,
so whatever
okay.
keywords your website is targeting, you will get a search volume for that. If you're a
So
very
if
new website, you will get only 100 people in a month. So your
yes,
data will
yes.
show 100 people.
If I want to see what is happening around the whole Google, then
No, you
can't
can't
I
see.
we can't see. Okay,
No.
so
Why will
we
Google
have
give you
not.
that data?
Yes, we have not put any websites link or something URL there.
No.
Then how
This is from the Google merchandise store, which is a website that Google owns, right? And that data is basically given to everyone for learning purposes. This data that we are seeing here is a Google's website's data that is given to everyone for a learning purpose. But if you want to know about any random website's data, you won't be, because every website wants to protect their data. No one will give you their data for free. We will tell you how many users we get every month. No one will tell you.
Yes.
But obviously there are paid third-party tools like SimilarWeb, there is SEMrush and Ubersuggest. All these tools help you do that, but those are paid tools by third parties.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Krishnaveni, did you get it?
Yeah, I got that data. And now I want to know, like, user acquisition and traffic, you were telling some difference, know what it is. Can you just repeat it?
The difference is that user acquisition shows you the details of new users only, and traffic acquisition shows you details of all users.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
Akash, the data I'm getting is very very unorganized. Like direct is first, and then another direct is like on sixth row, like
So
this.
you can organize it by clicking on this sort button. Sort. So it will sort you by highest to lowest and lowest to highest, whichever it is, it will sort it by that. It's like just like the filter or the sort option that you have in Excel, that you can sort according to highest to lowest or lowest to highest. You will get it accordingly.
But can we make different dimension according to our use?
Yes, there is a way to make custom reports, right? But that is not something that we'll learn here because that is a little bit advanced. So we only learn the reports that Google Analytics currently provides us. If you want to make custom reports, you can look at it specifically on your own.
Okay.
Cool. Anyone who has not understood these three basic functionalities, that is filter, comparison, and secondary dimension? Anyone here who does not understand these three? No?
So we can't use all three in the same time?
Yes, you can. You can put here, for example, you can use multiple. See, the idea is that I taught you these three basic functionalities. These three basic functionalities can be applied with each other, right? So for example, here in the comparison, I put the let's say gender, and I create a comparison of male and female, right? So I create a comparison of male, and I again create a comparison of female. Okay. Now again, what I want to do is I only want to see male and female traffic, let's say from a specific country. So I can put a lot of filters together to get the data that I want. Here I can, let's say, put a country of US. So I want to see from US how many male and female are coming. Now I also want to see that from the male and female, the difference in the data that is coming, what device they are using. Let's say device category. Right. So I have basically divided my data into a lot of segments. I've put a comparison also, I've put a filter also, I've put a secondary dimension. So you can use all of these tools together to filter out the data as per your needs. Right. And the needs is something that we'll discuss right now after we have understood this.
Sir, and
Right,
in the comparison, can we do two comparison? Like you have selected the gender, male and female. Can
yes, you can do
also
more than
select the
that.
country? Yeah.
Yeah, country also, like, and you can put as many comparisons, as many filters as you want. Like filter, obviously you can put one, but whatever filter that you want, you can put it. But the idea is that you have to understand why you're putting that filter, what exactly you want to see. Obviously, male, female, and country is not something that you want to compare together. You really want to compare male, female, and country together because this doesn't make sense. You have to compare similar things together. So you have to understand the use case of what data do you actually require, and basis the requirement, you have to use the different filters, the comparisons, and the secondary dimensions.
Okay.
Okay.
And Akash, on the filters, first time you showed us in the right side, and why are we doing it again? That secondary dimensions also we are using, right? What is the difference between these two?
The difference is that you are filtering out your data in different sources. Currently, what I'm doing is in the country, in the filter, I've put the country of US. So I'm filtering out only people who are from US. Now, once I put this filter, I also want to see that from the people who are from US, what device are they using? Now, I can't put two filters. I can only put one filter at a time. So then I'll put the device either in the secondary dimension, or I can put the device in the comparison also. If I was not to compare male and female.
Okay.
So the idea is that you have to understand your use case, that what data do you actually require, right? What data are you trying to find, and then use these three tools to get that specific data, how you want it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone else? Any questions before we move on?
Hello.
Yeah, Aman. Yeah, who's that?
Yeah,
I couldn't see you. Yeah, Aman, you
I
can
have
go
a
on.
question. What is the difference between user acquisition and traffic acquisition? Actually, I am in user acquisition,
As
so
I
data
said,
are similar
dude,
like traffic
no.
acquisition.
As I said, in user acquisition and traffic acquisition, the main difference is that in user acquisition, you get the data of new users only, and in traffic acquisition, you get the data of all users. That is the only difference.
Okay.
Now, don't ask me, sir, why is it so? Because I don't know. Google is basically giving you that data in a specific format. So that is what we know. In new users, you will see all the data that you see is for new users only. And in traffic acquisition, all the data that you get is for all users, new plus old. That's the only difference. Does that make sense, Aman? Yeah, someone else had a question?
Sir, I was about to ask the same question.
Okay. Everyone is clear on the difference between user acquisition and traffic acquisition, I hope. Anything else before we move on to the case studies?
Sir, can you repeat the user and traffic thing again?
You tell me, what did you hear?
Sir, I only understood the user acquisition. I didn't understand the traffic acquisition.
What did you understand in user acquisition?
Like we can do the comparison regarding, comparison of the users. We get the data about the users.
Is that what I just said to Aman?
Actually, user acquisition is new user, and traffic acquisition means all users.
All users. Right. So that is how the data has been designed. Right. That in your user acquisition, you will get the data of new users only, and in traffic acquisition, you will get the data of all users. That is how it has been divided. That's the difference. Ojas?
So like I'm confused in that, like where do you select the campaign? Like how do you know which campaign ad group? What is all that? Like
campaign ad group? What
I
where
mean,
do you
like
see campaign ad
from which campaign they came and which ad group they are
that is
from.
something that we'll talk about.
Okay, you'll talk. Okay, thanks.
Jay?
So we are doing just from the acquisition. Can't we do it from engagement, monetization? Like,
We'll go into what engagement covers, what monetization covers. We'll cover all of that. Okay, cool. I think now you all are curious enough to actually know about the use cases. Okay, so quickly let's start with the use cases. So there are 5 use cases that we will see which are very closely related to paid ads. Okay, because Google Analytics can be used for paid ad also, it can be used for organic also, it can be used for influencer marketing, referral traffic. All there are many use cases for Google Analytics, but we are going to study only about the cases that are related to our field, that is paid ads. So what are these use cases? The first one is real-time data. The second is new versus returning users. The third is finding out the source of our users, right? The fourth is finding out traffic source of landing pages. And the fifth one is product performance. Okay, so let's start with the first one, that is real-time data. Now, what does real-time data signify? Real-time data in very simple sense signifies the number of users that are on your website currently, right? That is what real-time means. That real-time will show you the number of users that are on your website in real time. Okay, so how does particularly Google Analytics show us this data? Google Analytics gives us this data of the number of users that are on our website in the last 13 minutes. This is the time limit that has been set by Google Analytics. It is not 10 minutes, it is not 15 minutes, it is not 1 hour, it is 30 minutes. And this time is not changeable. You cannot select the number of users that you can get in the last 1 hour or last 5 hours, right? The real-time data only gives you the number of people that are on your website in the last 30 minutes, right? You will be able to see that data fluctuating once you go into the real time, because the number of users keeps on changing. At the time limit of 30 minutes is basically maintained, right? So you can access this data under reports in real time. If you go into here, if you click on reports, the second option, that is real time. If you click on it, you will be able to see the current number of users on your website for the last 30 minutes. So here you see users in the last 30 minutes, 68 users per minute, right? So it shows you a lot of different divisions of that data as well. But this is the number that we should be looking at. Now, why we should be looking at this number? Why this number plays an important role? This number plays an important role to give us a significance of the functionality of our website. If our website is currently functioning without any issues, then the number of users will be expected at a XYZ number, right? But if the website is facing any specific issues, or your campaigns are facing any specific issues, the numbers will drop down. For example, let's say that without running any campaigns, you get 20 users in every 30 minutes, right? But one day you log on to Google Analytics and you see only 1 or 2 users in your real-time data. So what will that signify? That there is something wrong with your website that is causing the number of users to drop. Maybe your website is not functioning properly. Maybe it's a server issue, or some pages are not working. Some of your landing pages are not working due to some technical issues. Similarly, you can check the campaign performance as well, right? Performance as in the functionality of the campaign. So for example, with you running your Facebook ads, Google ads, you get 100 leads every 30 minutes on your website. Now again, you come to a website on any random time and you see that number is getting dropped from 100, it is getting dropped to 20, 30. So you can expect that there must be something wrong in my campaigns, because my campaigns are not performing, and hence I'm not getting enough leads. Every time I'm not getting enough leads. So you go back to your specific platforms, you check the campaigns, maybe the budget is over, maybe bidding strategies are not working, maybe some technical issues with the platform itself. So a lot of time what happens is Google ads are like, all of us keep hearing that, Facebook went down for a few hours, or WhatsApp is down for a few minutes. So all of those can also affect your campaigns or your campaign performance. So you can check the functionality that are your campaigns and are your website performing in the right manner by looking at this real-time number, right? So this is the main use case, if your ads are working or is there any issues on your website. Also, we can see the effect of various activities that we are doing after we have just started them. So let's say that you particularly post an influencer, you do an influencer marketing post with a big influencer, and their post just went live, right? Right after the post went live, you can monitor the real-time number to see the effect, that is this post actually resulting in more users in your website, or is this specific, let's say you have just started your campaigns, and is that campaign specifically increasing the number of views or the number of visitors on your website? So you can check that data in real time. So this real-time data is to particularly understand if your campaigns or if your website is working correctly or not. And the second is you can track some performance of some of the activation that you have done, for example, some influencer posts, YouTube videos, or any marketing activation, for example, like starting a new type of campaign. So this is the use of real-time data. So this is how you can see the real-time data. It will show you a country level split as well. So if you go here, I think in the report snapshot, you'll be able to see it. It's in the real time. Okay. Yeah. In the real time, here you see 75 users in the last 30 minutes. You see like a worldwide distribution of where these 75 users are currently from. You see that there are, let's say from India, Mumbai, there are 4 users. There are 1 user from Ahmedabad, 1 user from Agra, and similarly, some more distribution of this 75 users currently. Okay. Any questions in real time, guys? Anyone? There's a quick practice question for all of you. Go to the live section and tell me the current number of users that you see on the platform. You can put your answers in the chat. As of now, how many current users do we see? Okay, some of you are saying 75, some of you are saying 74. I think currently it's 74 only. Let us quickly go back and check. So here, right now I'm currently seeing 75. Obviously, the number keeps on fluctuating basis. Now it went to 77 again. Maybe it'll go down in a few bit, right? So this is a real-time data that we can look at. Cool. Now moving on to the second use case that we have. You can stop putting your answers in the chat. Good work, guys. The second use case that we have is new versus returning users, right? Now, first we need to understand that why this particular metric of new versus returning users is important. Like, what does it really tell us as a marketer? Why do we really need this data? What happens is that whenever a business starts running, there are 2 types of users that it kind of gets. One is the new users that the business acquires through running ads, by doing social media marketing, by doing influencer marketing, and all of the other different things. And the second type of user they get is returning users, or users of custom audiences that you know of in your Facebook and YouTube, Facebook and Google ads that you have learned. Right now, for a business or for a website, it is very important to cater to both types of users. Right? You cannot only optimize for getting new users on your website. You have to optimize your website for your returning users as well. Why? Because the returning users that you are getting, they already know about your brand. They are aware. They must have purchased a product from you. To convert them, or particularly to keep them or to sell them any specific product, it will be less difficult as compared to convincing a new user. Right? So that is why you have to create content, or you have to make changes on your website, or make certain things on your website, so that your returning users can also come and enjoy your services. Right? So this is why new versus returning users is a metric that you should be constantly looking at to see what is the engagement or what is the activity that both these types of users are doing. For example, if you get a lot of new users on your platform and you get very low returning users, that means that you are spending a lot of money to acquire new customers, but once they become your customer, they're not coming for repeat purchases. They're not coming back to your website and purchasing something else. The other way can also be that if you're getting a lot of returning users, but you're not getting enough new users, then what is happening is the same group of people are again and again coming and buying from your brand, but you're not expanding your business because you're not acquiring enough new customers. So for that reason, you need to constantly look at this number and identify what your current situation is, what is the ratio of new users to returning users, and then figure out how exactly can you increase the number for both. Ideally, your new users versus returning users should be on a similar ratio, that 50%, like the number should be similar, so that your new users also you're acquiring and you're catering to your existing users as well. Again, like I'm giving you overall baseline numbers for different brands or different specific categories or different types of products. The new versus returning users will be different. For example, let's say you are a car brand, right? Now a person purchases a car every 4 to 6 years, right? So if someone has purchased a car right now, they'll not visit your website for the next 4 to 5 years. So in that case, new versus returning users, like new users number will be more, returning users numbers will be less. But if you're selling some repeat purchase product, for example, let's say you're selling some beauty product or you're selling some groceries, right? Every month you require groceries. So there your returning users number will be more. That more and more people will be actually be coming back again and again and purchasing your product rather than new users, right? So in that case, maybe returning users number will be more as compared to new users. So it varies, but ideally it should be on a 1:1 ratio, that your new users and your returning users should have a ideal maintain ratio of 1:1. So you get this data, you get this data into this segment of retention. So in the reports, once you scroll down, you will see this option of retention. So if you click on this retention option, you will get the data of your new versus returning users. So here you see that in the last 28 days, they had 34 new users and 28,000 returning users. Right. So this number, they are almost like, it's almost 1:1. Obviously, the returning users is a little bit less than the new users, but this is a good ratio to keep in mind. Right now, basis this, you can identify what activities you want to do, what optimization you want to do on your website. Okay. Any questions from anyone on new versus returning users?
Yeah, Akash.
Yeah, Ojas. Okay. Who was that who was speaking? I think Ojas had raised his hand.
No, it's fine, Abhishek. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Is this data for a month, for last month?
Yes. So you can select, like, if you want the data for a longer period, you can select whatever period you want. So for example, you want to see the data for the last 90 months.
Yeah.
You can see the data for last 90 days. You can see it. You want to see it like for custom last only 2 months, you can edit it and see.
Okay, got it.
So it's totally up to you what date range you want to select.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Ojas.
So I had same question, that time period, and also there are two retentions in the left side. Why is that? Under monetization and under game reporting.
So there are two things. Game reporting is mostly the app related data, and life cycle is basically app plus your overall website, both included. So game retention is basically, game reporting is basically for the app related things that they are doing.
Okay, so I just click now. It is the same data is coming.
Numbers are same?
I think so. Wait, can you just check in your laptop?
Yeah, the numbers are same. So I think maybe because they might not have set it. Because one thing that you have to understand is that the data that we are seeing here is kind of like a dummy data. This is not like exact data from an actual real website. It's a dummy data that Google is providing us for a learning purposes. Or maybe when you set everything up correctly, when you have a different app and a different website, the data might be different.
Okay, so gaming means this, right? App, you mean? App and website is app. Okay.
Yes.
Apps. Okay.
Saud.
Why this game is called app? Because it may be there's a game available on their app or something, or the user using that particular feature on the app. That's what it is, or particularly the app. And you also mentioned this is a dummy data. Then how we are getting in live reports, like real time this thing. I think this is a real data which is coming from the website there.
Yes, the real data is definitely coming from the website. But what you have to understand is that the data that we see. So for example, a lot of you were asking that, what is the Google Merchandise Store? This is what the Google Merchandise Store is, right? And here you can actually go and shop specific products, right? You can buy, particularly you can do add to cart and you can purchase. But a lot of this data that we see is actually given by Google as a dummy data. Like, for example, that this 110 rupees purchase that they got. Maybe it did not actually happen, but Google is basically showing you that this purchase actually happened. Some of those actually happened, but some of these might not exactly happen. The idea is that the data that you see here is for learning purposes only. It's not from a real website. Like, well, this is like a real website, but some of the data is not like not actual conversions or not actual money that is going into this sales that is happening.
But Akash, I don't know if I'm right or what. I know about this Google Analytics. Like, the Google has kept their domain open for the merchandise website for all the users to come and explore their tool, which is Google Analytics, right? And so that, do you think it is customized for one particular website? The whole thing could be customized for the users? Because
What
I
do you
don't
mean by
think
that?
so.
Don't understand what you mean exactly.
No, see, you are saying this is a dummy data. In that case, you are saying that Google has optimized their Google Analytics tool for the user who's coming to use the dummy account, right? Here, how come that be possible?
Because see, the idea is that a lot of these users, or a lot of these people that are visiting the website, right? No one, like, the idea is, I can be wrong, but I don't think anyone is actually purchasing these products from the Google merchandise store. Because if like these merchandise stores products that are there, you won't find it on the internet, or you won't find it specifically available anywhere. These are not selling. That's the idea. But I might be wrong. Again, you might be correct that in terms of maybe it is from an actual real website and the actual sales are happening, but I'm not sure if the actual sales actually.
No, sir. I think
Actual
South. I
sale
think
does happen.
I think the sales are not happening because in the acquisition the conversions are around 40,000, but the total revenue is still $1. So I think that could not be possible. In the acquisition, we are having the data of 40,000 conversions, but the revenue is just $1. So I think it's learning purpose only.
Where is
What are you
that
referring to?
$1? Can you show me that, Jay? Where did you see the revenue?
Are you talking about this, Jay? Conversion 7,494 and the revenue is 0.07.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is like, yeah, it can also be. Okay, dude. Saud, I'll get back to you on this. I don't think this is the right place to discuss it. Even I'm not sure. I'll check this and I'll get back to you.
No, because what I know is merchandise store is the real life scenario which works in, and you can purchase the product from their website. Also, this is with the Yahoo as well. They also sell their merchandise. You can buy it, right?
Okay.
And they also provide this kind of a data. And this is a real time data. This is not dummy data.
Sure. I'll look into this and I'll get back to all of you. Okay. Cool, guys. Let's move on to the next. Anyone has any questions on the new versus returning users?
No.
Anyone? Okay. Cool. Now some of the metrics that we can analyze here is obviously the user retention, the user engagement, and the lifetime value, right? So if you look at these charts that are below the retention column, there are specific charts which help you understand the user engagement, the lifetime value that we have, right? So here it shows you in user engagement, right? So you see on the first day what is happening, there are 100% users, but on the second day, only 9.3% of the users are coming back. On third day, on the second day, it's 5.5. Then on third day, it is 4, and slowly it is dropping, right? You see how many, like, if there are 100 users on day 1, then on day 2, only 9.3% of those 100 users are actually returning. And this is how the numbers are slowing down as we move across. Then lifetime value, how the lifetime value is specifically increasing, or in this case, it's basically showing 0 only, but it still shows that it is increasing. Similarly, the average engagement time, right? Here we see that on day 1, the engagement time is 1 minute 21 seconds. On day 2, like on day 0, it is 1 minute 21. On day 1, it is 4 minutes. And then as the day progresses, the engagement time by specific users are this on average, right? So there are a lot of data that you can actually see and ultimately understand the user behavior. Based on the user behavior, you can take calls in how you want to optimize your website even further. So this is a quick question for all of you. Check the numbers of new users and returning users in the month of May 2022. put the date as 1st May to 31st May of 2022, and then tell me the number of new users and returning users. You can put it down in the chat. Okay, Rajat has put his answer. What about others? Okay, I think a lot of you are saying 33K new users and 23K returning users. So let us see that for ourselves as well. So we put May 2020. So we put May 2022 and we see 33K new users and 23K returning users. So obviously the answer that you've got is correct. Cool. Now moving on to the third situation, that is finding out where our users are coming from. Right now, this is a very, very important idea or very, very important data to have, because as someone was asking me, the users was asking me that how do we understand that this user, where has he come from, right? Which campaign has he come from? Which ad set has he come from? What ad has he seen, right? Now, the simple answer to this is UTM parameters, right? These UTM parameters allow us to track specific interactions and understand where our users are specifically coming from. Okay. So this what we do, we go to the user acquisition, right? Now, depending on user acquisition, we obviously saw that we have those already built, right? The direct, organic, the specific referral channels. So all of that we can see from our user acquisition, organic search, direct, display, paid search, paid shopping, referral, organic videos. So all of these metrics that are basic or that are very common are already there in the specific section. Now we can, what are the metrics that we can analyze here? We can analyze the metrics of users, the engaged sessions, the engagement rate, the engaged sessions per user, the average engagement time, event count, the conversions, right? So all of this we can specifically see in terms of the user acquisition or traffic acquisition based on our need. If you want to see new users only, we will go into the user acquisition. And if you want to see all the users, we will go into traffic acquisition, right? And these are all the data that we see, that how many sessions that they have done, engaged sessions, how much engagement rate is there, what is engaged sessions per user, what is the average engagement time, how many events have they triggered, how many conversions have they triggered, and how much revenue have they actually generated. So all of this data we will get basis the primary dimension that we have here. Similarly, in traffic acquisition, we can see the same thing based on the primary dimension that we have here, right? So we see direct, unassigned, paid search, Google search, display, organic, and we can see the different levels of data that we have. Now, a quick question for all of you to solve is, can you tell me that what is the total number of users who came from paid search between January 2022 to March 2022? Right? Again, the question to you have to read the question well to understand. Here I'm asking, find the number of users. I'm not saying new users. Whenever only users is mentioned, that means all users. Whenever new users is mentioned specifically, that means it is only of new users. So this question is asking you all the users who have come from paid search between January 2022 to March 2022. Okay, a lot of you are saying 14,348. So let us see the number as well. So let me change the date to January to March 2022. And the number from paid search. So paid search, the number is 14,348. You guys saying 14,348. So this is a correct number, right? So based on this, we can identify where our users are coming from an overall perspective. Now we want to go one level deeper as well, right? We specifically want to know, even if they have come from paid search, or even if they have come from, let's say, referral traffic, we want to know which campaign ad group have they really come from, right? Now, for getting this, we have to go into engagement.
Sir.
Yeah.
Pishla wala, please explain again.
Sorry, which one?
The last one, sir.
Last one, as in the where your users are coming from?
Yes, sir.
So you get this under user acquisition or traffic acquisition. In traffic acquisition, you get the details of all the users. In user acquisition, you get the details of new users.
Sir,
You can select the date range.
in traffic acquisition, I'm getting 14325 through paid ads.
What's your date range? January 1 to March 31?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm selecting January 1 to March 31. It should be 14348. Most of us are getting 14348. Are you on the same app plus website, or are you still on the website version only?
So I'm on the same one.
You're getting this number correct? 83728.
I'll just check. Okay, you can go ahead. I'll just check if I've done anything wrong.
Okay, cool. Now, as we were saying that we now need to understand that even inside paid search, we want to know where have these specific users come from, which campaign or ad group have these users come from. For making this campaign ad group, we have to use UTM links, right? Now, what are UTM links? UTM links are basically links that are added onto your landing page from which specifically contains the information of the campaign and the ad group that you're triggering to. Right? So the way that you create UTM links is that in the UTM link that you add specific information and you add that link in the ad landing page, right? And then once the user clicks on that ad, that data is getting recorded in the either in the Google Analytics or specifically if you are using any specific CRM. Okay, so we'll specifically understand how to create UTM links here. So the first step that we should be focusing on is that whenever you are creating UTM links, always use a UTM builder tool. There are many UTM builder tools available for free on Google. So you can basically select those UTM builder tools and put the data that you want, right? What are the data that is required? The data required is UTM campaign, UTM source, UTM medium, UTM content, and UTM keyword or UTM term. These are the 5 data points that are required. With that, you add the landing page and you generate a UTM link. Okay, so I'll quickly show. First, let me tell you where these 5 data are required and what does it mean to have this data, right? Again, I want all of you to pay very close attention to this because this is very important to understand in terms of tracking your campaigns, right? So what is UTM campaign? In UTM campaign, you mention the name of the campaign, right? So if your campaign is called campaign 1, you mention the name as campaign 1, right? Then what is UTM medium? UTM medium refers to the platform that you're using. On which platform are you running the ad? Are you running the ad on Facebook? Are you running it on Google? Are you running it on LinkedIn? Are you running it on Quora? Which specific platform are you using? Then what is UTM source? UTM source is the type of audience. That what type of audience are you using? Are you using core audience? Are you using custom audience? Are you using retargeting audience? Are you using lookalike audience? So whatever type of audience that you're using, you mention that in the source. Then fourth, UTM content. UTM content is the name of the ad or the type of the ad. For example, if you're using an image ad or a video ad or a carousel ad, you put that name in the UTM content. And UTM term is specifically for keywords or key phrases. This is only used where search is concerned. So for example, in YouTube or example in Google search, wherever a search functionality is present, where you can search a specific keyword and then see the ad, this UTM term is used. For most of the paid marketing or most of push marketing, the 4 main parameters that are used is campaign, medium, source, and content. Have all of you understood these 5 parameters at least? Anyone has any questions in these 5 parameters? Yeah, Ojas.
So in the keyword, like each ad group has around 15 keywords. So which keyword to put from that?
So the keyword that will specifically take is that there's a dynamic parameter that you put in the keyword. And what will happen? The keyword that you search will basically get identified from in the keyword section. So if you search digital marketing course and see your ad, in the UTM term, you will see the keyword that the user has entered.
Okay, and our ad got triggered from that. So okay,
yes,
got
our
it.
ad got triggered from that.
Okay.
It's a dynamic parameter that you need to set up.
Okay, thanks.
So, Akash, the keywords are not always search exactly the exact match, right? The search terms, which is
the search terms, again, as I said, I did not say the search terms. I said the keywords.
Right.
For example, if someone searched for digital marketing course in Mumbai, but got triggered from your phrase match digital marketing campaign. In your UTM term, you will see digital marketing campaign in phrase match. Like not exactly match you will identify from your source, but you will see the keyword that got triggered, not the search term.
So which keyword is getting triggered for the which search term?
Yes.
That keyword will be able to identify. That's what you're saying?
Yes, we'll be able to identify the
Thanks,
keyword.
works well. Thanks.
Anyone else? Any questions in these 5 UTM terms?
So, sir, these UTM terms are certain things that we give UTM, or is it like, is it a part of the setup, or what is this all
It is a
about?
part of the setup. So I'll show you how it is created. So for example, let me just search for, you can just search for UTM builder on Google. And there are a lot of tools that is available. I personally like to use this tool, right? So here you see an example, right? So for example, this is the link. So first you need to have a landing page, right? So for example, here I'm just entering a random landing page, that is www.website.com. Then what is my UTM campaign? I'm naming my campaign as campaign conversion. This is the name of my campaign. I will select it and write it here. Then my name of my campaign is campaign conversion. Then what is the name of my medium? Medium is basically your platform. Here we are using Facebook. So in the medium, I'll enter Facebook. Then what is the name of my source? My source is lookalike. Source is basically your audience. I'm assuming that I'm using lookalike audience. I'll enter my source as lookalike. Then particularly we'll put the content. Content is the name of the video or the format of the ad. Here I'm putting video and I'm putting it as 15 seconds. So these are like how I've named my video, that is video 15 seconds. And there is no UTM term here, right? So these are the 5 things that I'm adding, right? So once you see here that the UTM is automatically generated, that www.website.com/source lookalike, UTM medium Facebook, UTM campaign conversion, and UTM content video 15 seconds. Now all you need to do is you need to copy this specific URL and paste it as the landing page in your ad campaigns. You need to paste it as a landing page in your ad campaigns, and then that specific page will be triggered.
Okay, please share the link of this website.
It's called UTM Builder. I'll search on Google, but I'll still share it for everyone. Cool. I'll show you an example of how actually a UTM link works, right? From our Facebook ads. We'll quickly show you an example. So for example, this is my MLP 14 campaign, right? Now in that campaign, let's say I am going inside any specific ad. Okay. Now inside the ad, once I scroll down, you will see the landing page, right? So here in the landing page or the website URL, you see that with the craftshala.com, there is a UTM link also that is generated and added here. So this is where you create the UTM link and you add. Now, if someone clicks on this ad, they'll be taken to this specific page, which already has the UTM in the top section of the URL. Now, if anyone uses this page to convert, they fill up their name, email ID, phone number, then what will happen in our backend CRM, whoever fills their name. So if I currently fill my name as Akash Naskar, it will show me that in my backend that Akash Naskar actually converted from Facebook medium, from UTM medium Facebook, from UTM source affinity Facebook, from campaign MLP 14 and all the details. Similarly, in Google Analytics also, it will show one, like in Google Analytics, you will not get the data of the user, but you'll know that one conversion happened from this particular medium, this particular source, this particular campaign. This is how you can identify where exactly is your users coming from and how they are performing on your website or what conversions are they doing. Okay. Now, these are some of the best practices that I want to share in terms of creating UTM links. Okay. The first best practice is that always check your UTM links manually before running ads. Because a lot of times what happens is that if you have some additional characters in your UTM, a lot of times your UTMs will not function properly. And once you click on that, it will not specifically contain all the values. So for that reason, you should make sure that your UTM links are working particularly well or working correctly. Then the second is that always use a UTM builder tool to create UTM, because when we try to create it manually, we can make mistakes. So it is always beneficial to use any UTM tool that we know of. The third use case is always use lowercase in the UTM parameters and don't use any spaces. use underscores instead. So whenever you're writing anything in the UTM parameters, never use spaces. Why? Because if you use spaces in the URL, a space is considered as a blank, right? And if you put a blank in the URL, what will happen is that the URL will become non-functional. The URL will not function correctly anymore. So ideally, you should not use any spaces. Don't use upper cases, use all lower cases, and particularly use use underscores instead of your hyphens or instead of any spaces. The fourth is that keep all the UTM parameters consistent across different platforms and campaigns, so it's easier to track, right? So whenever you are creating UTM parameters for different types of platforms, make sure that your nomenclature is pretty much similar, that you're naming your campaigns in a similar way, you're naming your mediums in a similar way. So for example, a common mistake that a lot of new people do, and honestly I've also done when I started creating UTMs, is that you forget what UTM you had created for Facebook and what UTM created for Google, right? And what happens is that this UTM medium and source, these are very similar to each other, right? While I told you that medium is specifically for the platform and source is specifically for the audience, but a lot of times the opposite also happens, right? So for example, what we'll do is in Google, you will use medium as audience and source as platform, and in Facebook you'll do the exact opposite. Now when both of these data will get collected together, the same data will be showing in two different segments, and then you'll get confused as to which data we should be looking at. So for that reason, you should be making sure that your data is consistent across all the platforms, and shorten your UTM links while sharing with users or posting it on the internet. You can use various URL shorteners, because when you have the full UTM link, and if any part of the UTM link gets deleted, then what will happen? Your whole UTM link will stop working. So for that reason, use a URL shortener, that even if some part of URL shortener gets deleted, still that URL will continue to function, but your UTM will not function in any part of that is deleted. So the UTM link is very fragile in terms of changes. So always make sure that you're using a URL shortener to shorten the UTM link before sharing it on the internet. Okay, I see two people with their hands. Bismaya.
Yeah, so like the UTM practices happens in the similar manner for the for the third party website as well, right?
Yes,
If
you
we
can
have
put the
third
UTM on anywhere. You can put it on Quora, you can put it on backlinks, you can put it on influencer marketing post, anywhere that you want to track that where your users are coming from, you can put the UTM.
Then the process will be same.
Exactly, the process will be same. So when, for example, when you're creating this for an influencer campaign, you name the UTM campaign as influencer campaign 1. You name the UTM medium as, let's say, Instagram influencer. You put the UTM source as, let's say, interested in music. Whatever, like all of this, the content that you write in the campaign medium source is totally up to you. Whatever you want to write, but make sure that you're following a correct nomenclature.
Yeah, it will only show the from which sources the users
User
came
has come.
from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Akash, in the very basic sense of it, all I want to know is that UTM links are basically a link that we create. Does it also create a different landing page? Like different landing page as in
it will be the
uses. Yep, hello. Sorry.
It will be the same landing page, but the UTM link will be there, which will capture the information.
No, because we are tracking our website or we are running analytics on our website, we'll be able to know that this link was used by this user. Is it like that?
Yes, that is how it works. That on the website, so once they come on the website and the UTM link is particularly present on the URL, and if someone does any action from there, you will get to know that from this link the action actually happened, and it will be captured in the backend.
So it's a very bare bones way of tracking then, right?
What do you mean by a bare bone way of tracking?
So in Pixel, because I think this Pixel also works similarly.
Yes, but Pixel will only give you the data from this platform. It will not give you the data from different sections, and also Pixel will only give you the data in your ads accounts. Right? It will not give you the data if you're using a third-party tool like Google Analytics. Pixel will not work in Google Analytics, or Pixel will not work specifically in other CRMs. Like if you have like a HubSpot CRM or some other third-party CRM, it will not work there. So that is why UTMs are important. UTM is like such a method that can help you track the data on anywhere. You can use any platform, any third-party tool, anything. You just have to set the UTM there and you'll be able to track.
Akash, can we go with the both like pixels and UTM parameters?
Obviously, you need to go with both. Like obviously pixels you need to set up for your ads so that you can run your ads, you can set up conversion tracking, you can specifically optimize your campaign. So both you need to do.
So
like UTM will not help you optimize your campaigns. UTM is just for tracking.
Okay. So it is recommended that we should use UTM parameters in every URL that we are going to add.
So whatever you want to track, and ideally, when you're running different types of campaigns, you should be tracking where your conversions are coming from, so that you know where you need to optimize or where you overall need to spend more budget.
Thank you.
Akash, I think the ideal way to put the URL is the home page or the landing page, which we want the people
Yes,
come
obviously,
from
not the home page,
advertisement.
not the home page, the landing page.
Yeah, landing page, right.
For example, here we want Craftshala, we want our users to come on the form page directly. We are not taking the user to the home page or the marketing launchpad page. We are taking them directly to the form page. So we'll put the link of this form page and then add the UTM parameters.
Okay, right. Then if we talk about the searches, like the site links we are giving there. So for the site links also, we can also put each UTM for each site links.
You will have UTMs in site links.
Then the pixel will continue their work. Means they will just track the conversion and everything.
They will track the conversions, and you will also get to know that from which site link did you get the conversion.
Yes, got that.
Jay?
And through report, we'll get this data or what by utilizing this that where the users are coming.
This data you will get either from Google Analytics if you don't have a backend CRM, but if you have a backend CRM, you will get it from your backend CRM.
Sir, can we also add the ad set?
Ad set. So ad set is basically the audience. Like what's the difference between audience and ad set? Here where you're mentioning lookalike, if lookalike is your ad set, you'll have an ad set for lookalike, no? Or ad set for, let's say, your core audience, ad set for lookalike plus custom audience. So it's the same thing. Audience and ad set is basically the same thing. You can use it interchangeably. Okay, cool. Now let's quickly look at how do we see this on Google Analytics? How do we identify this data? So once you have done all the UTM setup, what you will do is you will go into the events, and inside the events, you will add a secondary dimension of source or medium, right? After you add a secondary dimension of source and medium, you will be able to basically see the data of what is actually happening, right? So you basically go into events. Now in events, there are multiple events that are actually happening, right? So you will see that in events, there are screen view, user engagement, post core. These are multiple events that the brand has, that currently is set up by the Google's Google Merchandise Store. So let's say screen view. We want to track how many people from different sources have done screen view, right? So you will put source. So there are multiple things that you can put. You can just check only source. You can check source medium. You can check source platform. You can set session source. You can set session source medium, session source platform. But here we'll check first user source medium. Right. So here we see direct none means that they directly came on the website. Here we see Google CPC. Google CPC is basically telling us that the ad actually, the person actually came from Google and that's seen a CPC ad. Right now, this is how the current UTM links are set up. If you want to mention something different in the medium, you can mention something else as well. Here you see another source medium, that is Google Play and organic. So this screen view actually happened from this number of screen view actually happened from Google Play, and all of them were organic searches, right? You can see more data here. So here it's currently showing 10 pages. Let's see, like 50 pages in a row, and then you'll be able to see more, right? Google Play organic, Google CPC. You have a lot of Google CPC here, Google Play organic, not set. So this UTM link was not set correctly. Then I think most of them are Google CPC and Google Play organic. Another way to view this data is also from user acquisition and traffic acquisition, right? So for example, if we go into user acquisition and we again add a secondary dimension of source medium, right? So you add your source medium again. Then you can divide this direct users into different segments, right? So here you see direct is divided into direct, none, right? Then let's say paid search is divided into Google CPC, organic search is divided into a referral traffic, display inside Google CPC, organic search. There are two more sections of organic search. One is Google Play organic, one is Google organic. So again, your normal for primary dimension is getting divided into your secondary dimension of the source and medium. Using the source medium of UTM links, you can exactly track what platform and what audience or what ad set has these particular users come from.
So sir,
Any questions here?
When there's written Google Play /organic, can you please scroll down? Yeah, so does that mean that the user was on Google Play when he clicked on something?
Yes.
But it's organic, so how does that, like?
What is Google Play? You know what is Google Play?
Yeah.
Google Play is basically like the Google App Store where you basically search for games. So there you can search for a specific game, and let's say an organic listing came up, they clicked on it and then they came to the website. So that's organic and Google Play. Does that make sense? From the Google App Store, if you like search for a game, like while the obviously you will not directly go to the website, but there's also an event that they have set up. So this is also how it can happen. And another, we have like invite a friend. This might be some campaign that they're running, invite a friend, like a referral program. The docs.google.com referral. This is also one way to do it. So obviously, like the way that Google has currently set up might not make a lot of sense, because Google is not running a lot of ads or not running a lot of particular ads on different platforms for tracking its campaigns. But once you see like a real website's data, it will make a lot more sense.
Sir, what is the meaning of CPC here?
You tell me, what is CPC?
I think by clicking on the website, they landed on the
meaning of CPC, or like what is a CPC campaign?
That is the cost per click.
And where do we get cost per click campaigns?
Okay, that we get in Google search as well. Then
Google
Amazon
search.
That, yeah.
So Google /CPC means that they had seen a Google search ad and then clicked on it, and then they have come to the website.
Okay. Then if the referral is mentioned, like by using
there was
referral
some
code,
referral link, some referral code, or like a lot of times when you have to refer someone, you get an automated code that someone can click on that code link, and automatically they get to install the app with the referral code included. So those kind of codes are referral.
Okay, got that. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, cool guys. Quickly moving on, I have two more use cases to cover. I'll quickly cover them. So here, obviously, we can use the metrics that we can analyze is the event count, the total users, event count per user, and the total revenue, right? These are some of the metrics that we can analyze. Now, the fourth use case is that we need to find out what is the traffic source for specific landing pages, right? Now, currently, till now, we were looking at the whole website at a general, but we don't want to look at the whole website, right? What we want is, we specifically want to know that for a specific landing page, which is important for us, let's say for Craftshala, the landing page of Marketing Launchpad. On this Marketing Launchpad page, where the users are coming from, that is the data that we want to know. We don't want to know for the whole website. We just want to know for a specific landing page or a specific page of interest. So how do we do it? We can very easily put a filter in the traffic or user acquisition of the specific landing page. Now, once we have put the filter of the specific landing page and we see the data from paid ads, from organic, from different sections, also we can put a source medium just like we did right now, and we can identify it. So, for example, currently here we are seeing this for the whole website. We don't have any filters added here, but we can quickly add a filter of landing page, and then we can specifically see for one landing page. So currently, let's see, we only want to see it for the home page. So we apply it, and this is the data that we are getting for the home page, right? There are 4,700 new users. Out of them, from organic, these many number of users have come. From direct, these many number of users have come. From referral traffic, these many users have come. From Bing, 8 users have come from Bing, right? Then there's like Bing referral, 2 users have come, right? So this is how we are particularly seeing the data. Again, We are seeing it for new users. If you want to see it for all users, you just go to traffic acquisition and set up the similar filters of landing page, and then the source medium you can also select to see the complete data of what ad groups and what sections are they coming from. So here I'm putting the filter of landing page, and here you can also put the data of source medium. You can put the data of source media, and you can see all the data, all the division of the data and where the users are actually coming from. So this is very important when you want to only optimize your landing pages, because for example, let's say you are currently selling, let's say you're a brand which is currently selling like 5 different products, right? And all these 5 different products, you are running ads for all 5 of them, and all 5 of them have different landing pages. Now, let's say one product is not performing well, and you want to optimize that landing page. For optimization, first you need to understand that how many users is it getting, from where are the users coming, from where the users are coming and conversions are not happening, right? So for example, here you see that 3,449 users are coming, but out of that, if you check the conversions, only 1,900 conversions are happening. So you can quickly do a quick division and see what is the conversion rate from views to conversion, what is the conversion rate, and then you can identify that which channel is the channel with the lowest conversion rate, and then you can optimize and you can identify that do you need to, for example, if it's a direct channel, then obviously it's a direct channel, then you can't optimize anything. Then you need to optimize the landing page. If people are directly searching your link and then coming and not converting, then it means your landing page is incorrect. There's something wrong with your landing page. So then you need to identify the changes on your landing page and then correct them. So this is how you can identify for any specific page that you want to filter out and see the data for. Is this clear to everyone? Any questions? No? Cool. Here, as I was showing you, that you can put the landing page here and basically find it, right? Again, like I think I've already showed you this, but all of you can quickly do this practice, that for the demo account, try to find the total number of users who visited the home page between January to March 2022. Quickly put these filters and tell me the number. You can put it in the chat, guys, if you already found the number. Okay, I see 2 answers. Rajat has put a very huge number. Rajat, I don't think that's correct. Your filters are not proper. 4757 is the correct answer that you are seeing right now as well. Here, my date range is January to March. I've included landing page as home page, and the total number that I have is all users is 4757. So that is the correct number. Cool. Moving on, the last use case that we'll be seeing is the performance of product, right? Now, this option is only available for websites which are e-commerce websites which are selling a lot of products. If you're only selling 4 to 5 products, and if you have not set up your product performance in such a way, you'll not be able to see this data, right? This data is specifically more important for e-commerce website, right? So here you will see that what are the products that you're selling and what is the performance for each and every product. Where do we find it? We find it under reports, monetization, and e-commerce purchases. Okay, so here we will be able to see the product performance for each and every product. So we go into monetization. Under monetization, we select e-commerce purchases. Okay, So in e-commerce purchases, we will see all the different products being listed here. Okay, for app e-commerce purchases is not available. So e-commerce purchases again is only available for the web data, right? So for this section, you need to go to the first option of web data, and inside the web data, you will be able to see the e-commerce purchases. So we go into reports. Okay. Monetization, e-commerce purchases. Here you'll be able to see all the products. So these are all the different product names or the different products that sell on Google Merchandise Store. And what are the data that we get? The data that we get is like an e-commerce funnel. First, we get item views, that how many people have viewed the item. Then we get add to carts, that out of the views, how many people have added the products onto cart. Then what is cart to view rate, which is like a division of add to carts divided by views. Then we have e-commerce purchases, that how many people actually purchase the product. Then what is the purchase to view rate? Then we get item purchase quantity, that how many items did anyone purchase of this specific product, right? For example, total 106 times the product was purchased, but the actual number of product that was sold was 151. So out of this 106 times, a lot of people maybe have bought 2, 3 at once. So that is the meaning of these two different segments, e-commerce purchase and item purchase quantity, that how many number of items were purchased and how many total conversions that happen. Okay, and then finally you have item revenue, which gives you the total revenue. So you get the data in form of a e-commerce funnel, that you get first the number of times the item was viewed, after that how many added them to cart, how many purchased the product, and ultimately how many of the product quantity was actually sold. Okay, so you get this number like this, and here you can identify which products are working well, which products are not working well. For example, if you want to see that which product has generated the highest revenue, right? So what you can do is you can just sort the revenue column by highest to lowest, and you'll be able to see that in this particular last 28 days, Google Black EcoZip hoodie had generated a revenue of 7,555. Right? Similarly, if you want to see which was the product that was most sold, right? Which product generated the highest number of conversions? It was Chrome Dino Holiday Sock. This product generated the highest number of conversions. Similarly, if you want to see which product has the highest number of purchase quantity, right? Then you see Google Black Wheat Pen had the highest number of purchase quantity. And similarly, you can identify the low performing products as well, and then try to optimize for those low quality performing products also.
So the 48 and 526, what is the major difference? The conversion value, the purchase value.
So as I just explained, that e-commerce purchase means that you have purchased the product once. Like, but it's not one product, it's multiple products. Basically, you made a conversion. For example, if I buy 10 pens at once, it will count as one conversion. But in the item purchase quantity, it will be counted as 10 units have been sold. Right? So basically, it is saying that for the total number of times that this product was purchased was 48. But in this 48 times, all the people included, total 526 products or 526 units were sold. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So this is how you can identify the product performance, and you can optimize for the different products that you're selling and the different products that you are that are selling well, or the different products that are not selling well, right? And the metrics to analyze are item views, add to cart, cart to view ratio, the e-commerce purchase, purchase to view rate, item purchase quantity, and the item revenue. These are all the metrics that you can see. And basis these metrics, you can identify and optimize the products that are not working well. Okay. Quick question for all of you. Try to identify the revenue that is generated by this product for everyone Google Tea in the month of July 2022. Okay. The product name is For Everyone Google Tea. We'll give you the product name in the chat as well, so you can pick it up from there. This session is till 12:45, no? Or 12:30?
45.
45. Okay.
So I'm getting 0, like no data available.
Same Akash, I'm getting the same blank.
You're getting 0 again, like guys. When I was explaining, I told you that for getting the e-commerce purchases, you have to go to the web data.
Yes, sir. I'm in web data only.
In web data also, you're not getting anything.
Yes, sir. I was getting all the products together, but only for Google. Like now, it's no data available. Can you just check in July?
See, I got it for everyone Google T.
So did you apply any filter?
Yes, I applied I used the search functionality. This is something that I did not teach any of you on purpose, because this is a very simple functionality that you see here. You can search a specific name. So for example, you'll find it in other places as well. There are a lot of products here, right? And if I want to search any product, for example, I want to see all the pen. I search pen and I press enter. It is like a search feature. It will show me all the products that has the word pen in it. And then I can see the conversions by this particular product. Right. So if you just search Google T double E. Right. So you will see all the T. So there's only one T, that is for everyone Google T, and the revenue is 1913. I've given you the name also in the chat. If you should have picked it from there. What were you guys searching? Or how are you getting it?
Sir, I'm not getting any data in e-commerce purchases.
You have to move to the web data in the first option. So currently, as of now, we only explored app plus web data. But instead of app plus web data, now you have to go into only web data for e-commerce purchases.
Understood.
Okay. Once you're on the web data, you come to monetization and then search for everyone Google T in the search bar here. Okay, the answer is 1913. For all of you who are still working on it, the answer is 1913. You can quickly check. Cool, guys. So far, the 5 use cases that we have learned and the different functionalities that we have learned. Anyone has any questions, any unresolved issues, any doubts, anything that you could not understand, anything that you were not able to do or get? Anyone? Yeah, Saurav.
Akash, could you please once again show the UTM links, how to find in the analytics?
So once you're on the analytics page, first you need to understand that where do you want to see the UTM links? You want to see the UTM links as a division of your paid search organic, or if you want to see the UTM link as part of the conversions or the events. Right? The ideal way to see is you go into traffic acquisition or user acquisition and you add a secondary dimension of UTM source and medium. You click on this plus, you add a secondary dimension of source medium, first user source medium, and then you'll be able to see that inside direct, this is how you'll be able to see the UTM links, direct none. For example, Google CPC. In paid search, the UTM source medium is Google, source is Google, and medium is CPC. And these are the number of conversion users, number of conversions, the revenue that was generated from here. Okay.
So these UTM parameters, we upload this on like Facebook platform on the ad where we
Yes,
on
exactly.
the
On the ad landing page. So once you're on the ad platform, here you have to enter a landing page, right? That on what landing page you want to run the ad. Here you will put the UTM of the landing page with the UTM's parameters made.
the same is and in the search.
Same on the
where
Google
we
also. In the Google
will
search, in the
create
Google
a-
video display, everything. Okay. Cool, guys. I have two more things to cover. I'll quickly have only 10 minutes left. I'll quickly cover those two things, right? The first thing that we need to understand is custom events and conversions, right? Now, if you want to add an event or conversion on your website, which is not readily available on Google Analytics, right? So if you want to add an event which you don't have on Google Analytics currently, for example, you want to have an event of leads, or you want to have an event of, let's say, thank you page, which is not readily available in Google, you can specifically create custom events, just like we create events in Pixel, in Facebook, and in Google as well. In Google Analytics, you can create custom events, right? So here, for example, in GA4, there is no event to track the enrollments. There's no event to track, let's say, filled up a lead form. So you want to create those custom events. So how do we create it? To create custom events, we go into this particular section of Google Analytics, that is configure. Right now, once we are in the configure section, we specifically click on this create event. Right now, once you click on create event, it will ask you from what section do you want to create the event from. Do you want it from Android? Do you want it from iOS, or do you want it from web? So you select either. If you want to create it from website, you select the website. If you want to create it from a particular app, you select the source or the location from which you want to create it. So you select the data stream. In this case, we select the data stream as my website, that is craftshala.com. After you select the data stream, you need to enter the details of the event, right? That what will the event be actually called, right? So you enter all the details of the event. For example, the name of the event will be sign up. What will the event be? The event will basically be that if anyone is on this page, right, and they view this page, I will count it as a sign up event. So anyone who views the thank you page, I will count it as a sign up event on my as a conversion. Or anyone who has filled up the lead form, I will count it as a sign up event or a filled lead form. So you add your conditions, you add the name, any parameters that you want to add, you specifically add those parameters, and then you save that specific thing, right? So you can particularly, after you've added the parameter that you want, you click on save. Right now, after you have saved the event will appear like this on the platform. Right? Currently, like I'm not able to create the event because obviously I don't own Google Analytics demo account, so you'll not be able to create events, but for your own website, you will be able to create events. So currently it will show you as events here, right? So here it is showing you that all the particular events that has been created by Google. So if you create a new event, it will be basically be shown as a new event here. Now, after you have created an event, you can mark an event as a conversion. For example, you want the sign up to be considered as a conversion event. So what do? You see this option of mark as conversion. You just need to toggle it. Currently, you see that there's an option to like switch on and off. So if, for example, if you want to use clicks as a conversion, for example, then you can just toggle this button on and it will be counted as a conversion. Similarly, here I've created a sign up event. After I've created the sign up event, I want Google Analytics to consider one sign up not as an event but as a conversion. Then I will just toggle this switch on and it will be counted as a conversion. That is how you can make custom events and custom conversion. Now the idea to understand is that if you want to make a custom conversion, you have to first set it up as an event, right? So you set up all the events, and then if you want to convert any event from an event to a conversion, you just switch on this button of mark as conversion. That is all you have to do to set up custom event, ultimately create it as a custom conversion. Is this like, I understand that a lot of you might not be able to visualize it as of now because you have access to Google demo account. You might not be able to do it on the platform, but just understand this, that you can follow a simple step of going into this events section and creating custom events by yourself with the parameters that you want. That is all you need to understand. Is this clear to everyone? That how you can create custom events and choose them as custom conversions?
Akash, please repeat the process to create custom event. Like,
so as I
custom
said,
conversion we understood, yeah.
For custom event, what you do is you first go into this particular section of configure. Inside configure, you have events. Inside events, you click on create event. Once you create event, you have to select a data stream, that from where will it get the data. So you select my website. Right now, once you select my website, you will particularly see an option of create event here, which is obviously not here for me because this is a Google demo account and we can't create event for it. But here you will see an option of like this. After you select your data stream, you will see an option of creating event. So you click on create event. Once you click on create event, then you'll basically need to enter the details of the event. That what will be the event called, what will be the parameters in the event, right? So here, for example, I'm creating an event of sign up. And what I'm doing is I'm particularly creating the sign up and telling Google Analytics that if my thank you page is viewed, consider that as a sign up event. If anyone views my thank you page, that should be considered as a sign up event. So I set all the parameters. I write the name of the event, any additional data that I want, I put it there. And then I save that event.
Akash.
Once you save that event, yeah.
It's more similar to Google Facebook Pixel of implementing manually in the
Yes,
page.
kind of. It's the same. Like even on Google, you can create a specific type of event by like in Google, just like you do, you select what event do you want to do, where do you want to see it, what should be the data attribution, all of that. It's similar. Basically, you're
Using the
selecting
button,
how you want
which
to.
button I should be triggered.
Exactly. You select here also what you should be triggered, and then you save that particular event with any name that you want. Okay, and after you have selected, after you've created that event or you've saved that event, you can choose it as a conversion by toggling it as a mark as conversion.
But Akash, we are not running ads on this, right? I mean, this platform. When we are doing it specifically on Google or Facebook, that there we are communicating this to the platform that we want to create this conversion. But here, what is the reason behind this doing?
Because how will, if for example, if someone clicks on an add to cart, you count that as a one conversion in your Google ads. But how will Google Analytics know that that is a conversion for you? You also have to tell Google Analytics, no, that count this specific event as a conversion.
So if we've created
Google
this,
Analytics will also track conversions. For example, let's say what is happening, you count your thank you page as one conversion. Anyone who visits thank you page, that is a conversion. Now from your ad, you told your ads that that is a conversion. But if anyone does it organically, where will that data get collected? That data will get collected in Google Analytics. And you also have to tell Google Analytics that organically also, if someone comes and visits my thank you page, you count that as a conversion. That is the use case here. Understood? Okay, cool. The last thing that we are going to learn is how to set up your Google Analytics with Google Ads. Right? This is a very simple process. What you do is you go into the settings, right? You go into the settings column of Google Analytics. In the settings column, you will find an option of this setup that link Google Ads, right? In product link, you see this option of Google Ads link. Now, what happens once you link your Google Analytics to your Google Ads? What happens is the data from Google Ads also gets collected in the Google Analytics, and you can have all of your conversion data, all of your functioning data, all of the data of impressions, data of views, or data of how much time the users have spent on the page. Everything you will be able to see it on the Google Analytics platform. You don't have to refer to like go to two platforms and do back and forth. You'll be able to see the same data that you get in Google Ads in Google Analytics as well. For that, you just have to link your Google Ads with your Google Analytics. Now, how you do it? You basically go onto this specific page. You have this admin section. You click on this settings cog below in the admin section. Once you click on this setting ads, you see this option, Google Ads link. Right? The only criteria is that your Google Analytics account and your Google Ads account should be linked to the same Gmail ID. If you are using two different Gmail IDs, then it's not possible to link. If you have a same Gmail ID on which your Google Ads account is also made and your Google Analytics account is also made, then both of them can be linked together. Right? That's the only specific challenge that we have here. And you can just click on this, and it's a very simple process. Here you can just click on link. It'll show you all the accounts that are on your same Gmail ID, and then it'll tell you which one do you want to link, and then you can just click on it to link that specific platform with your Google Analytics. Okay, this is exactly this is a very process forward thing. But the only reason that we are teaching you how to link it is basically what happens is that when you will actually go on the job and you'll be, for example, if you start working for a new brand or for a lot of brands, Google Analytics is not correctly set up. So for that reason, you have to go there and set up Google Analytics. So this is one of the crucial steps in setting up, that you track, you add your Google Analytics and your Google Ads account, you link it together so that all of your data is present in the Google Analytics. Cool, guys. Any questions? Anyone in the last two parts? No? Cool. Any points of feedback? Because I understand that Google Analytics is a difficult topic to understand and it's a very new thing. And because a lot of you don't have exact access, it might become very difficult. Anything from your end that you think is required to understand this topic better? Jay, you have something to ask?
So can we also link the Facebook Ads Manager to Google Analytics?
Yes, so you have your Ads Manager link as well. So here you can do the same thing. You can link your Ads Manager to Google Ads as well. Cool. Ojas?
So like whatever taught today, is that enough like to learn, or should we learn more?
The idea is that this is just the basics of Google Analytics, right? While I understand that there are a lot more things to learn, but with these basics in mind, if you keep, so if you know your filters and you know your data, right? And what data do you get, you will be able to navigate the platform. The types of questions that will be asked to you in a particular Google Analytics, let's say if you're going for a more analytic forward role in an interview, the types of questions will not be that, tell me how to put a filter, or tell me, where do you get this data? The question will be more around how do you solve real life problems? For example, the brand gives you a problem that, I am getting, like, I am a worldwide brand, and that brand is selling in 5 countries, right? And out of these 5 countries, the brand has noticed that in one of the countries, the number of conversions are decreasing. How will you use Google Analytics to identify and solve the issue? So there you need to think that I can use the country filter to first filter out which country is seeing less conversions. Then inside that country, I will put the filter of landing page or put the filter of secondary dimension and see that inside that country, which product or which landing page is actually generating less leads. Once I identify that landing page, I will identify that within that landing page, what source of audience is actually the problem, right? So you need to think analytically. You know filters, you know what are the options that are available, you know what are the filters that are available. You just have to know how to use these filters, right? So this particular type of questions is something that you will get in this coming exercise that you'll be doing on Google Analytics, I think today or maybe tomorrow. I don't know when exactly you're doing it, but just work on this exercise, and obviously we'll have a discussion on it tomorrow, and we'll particularly pick it up from there.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Cool, guys. Thank you all for joining. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.